Hey everybody, Mac to Monster, back with Marvel Heroes, and this time we got Thing up for his 52 review. And I got a good build up on the chopping block for him, and I like it pretty good. He's definitely in a much better place than he was before, and pretty much hits like a truck. Uh, Very tanky. If you're looking for a solid tank, I think this is what you're looking for. Definitely can fill the role. So, getting into the build, obviously we're going to name it Clobberin Time. Good old name for him. For the review, they added a whole ton of stuff. They put it on teammates. You got a lot of teammates to choose from. You got Hammer Time, which adds Mr. Fantastic, which turns into a hammer. You swing it around. You got Let's Roll Susie. She, turns you into a spiked ball. You roll around and hit things. You got Johnny. He shows up and blasts an area with flame. And then you got the Yancey Street Gang. They show up and beat some heads with baseball bats. You got the Fantastic Car as a movement power. That's pretty awesome. It's probably worth showing right there, the Fantastic Car. That's your fly around power. Costs no spirit, very nice. You get to throw sewer grate. You get to pick up a ton of stuff, random objects, and throw them. Street poles, mailboxes, etc. like that. Food cart fling, you pick up a food cart and chuck them. This one you beat things up with said objects again. Light posts, street signs, things like that. The muscle, that stayed the same pretty much. A lot of the same things in there, a little bit changed up. We got the old 1, 2, 3, that's new. And Yancey Street Goodbye, that's kind of new. The rest of it, pretty much the same. They cut out a couple of the standard basic attacks. Still got Sucker Punch, which they added crit chance onto it. That's really all it is. For his special attack, it's Clobbering Time. And what happens here is you earn hard knocks, they call it. And once you hit 100 hard knocks, you go into Clobbering Time. And Clobbering Time gives you damage rating, crit rating, brutal strike rating, and you're immune to crowd control. You regenerate health, you gain attack speed. Spirit costs are reduced, but you lose 16 hard knocks per second. As long as you're generating hard knocks, you can offset how fast it delays, but it's inevitable it's going to go away. You earn 8 hard knocks when you hit, and you earn 2 hard knocks when you get hit. So that's how Clobbering Time works. So for my build, I do 20 points in Mr. Fantastic. I like him the best. It does what seems to be some of the best damage. Let's Roll Susie is okay, but you get transformed and you got to roll around. These two are 7-second cooldowns. Johnny Flame is 12-second cooldown, so that's why I don't like him. The damage just didn't compare to the cooldown. And it's 12-second cooldown for Yancey Street Gang, and again the damage just didn't compare for the cooldown. At this point, seeing how we're already over here, I threw a point into Cracking Wise. This is his taunt, and a point into Fantastic Car, so you can move around fast. I put 20 points into Clobbering Time. It's obviously the passive is mechanic. It's real easy to work. It generates up on its own and it degrades on its own, so it's fine with me. 20 points into his signature, which is guess what time it is. Obviously, Clobbering Time. It does a good bunch of physical damage, but most importantly, it instantly fills up your hard knocks and you enter Clobbering Time. So it also doubles the effectiveness of Clobbering Time for a set duration, depending on how many points you got in there. So it's pretty powerful signature. Even though the damage doesn't look so great, the effects are really good. Then we're going to do 20 points into Brickyard Headbutt. The damage is okay, but we get some extra damage over time while we're setting up the old 1, 2, 3. So we're going to do 20 points into that. And that's going to do some great damage for us as well. This one, you do one hit. The second hit always critical hits, and the third hit always brutally hits. So that's just phenomenal right there. You're going to love that skill. If you love crits and brutal strikes, people are going to die for this. You also, while the power is active, take 50% less damage while it's active. I do 20 points to Yancey Street Goodbye. Now, this one does a massive amount of damage. However, it does not generate hard knocks. So this isn't a hardcore Clobbering Time build. This kind of supports itself. Once buffed, I mean, this thing's hitting so much like a truck. It's just crushing things. It does damage based on how much your maximum health is. So it gets really, really high. We're going to do 20 points into Thick Skinned. I'm playing him more off as a tank, and his DPS is based off of being like a tank. So it's kind of working together. It's very nice. And this passive gives him damage negations, defense rating, maximum health, right near and near before his base, so there's a plane flying by. Gives him damage rating versus enemies targeting him. Physical damage to anyone who hits you. And then, of course, it's got the active effect for PvPers to ignore CCs. So again, damage negation, defense rating, maximum health, damage versus people targeting you. It's all good. And then finally, the rest of the points that you have left over go into Ground Smash. And this is just to clean up trash packs that Hammer Time can't take care of, or while it's on cooldown. You got a lot of guys around you and you don't want to single punch them down. You got Ground Smash as a backup AoE. And that's it. That's the build. On a side note, Pulverizing Fury, this is just disgusting. It does not. It's so much extra damage. You channel it for 8 seconds, and then it negates extra damage 28%, and you and your allies are empowered, increasing base damage of all powers by 40%. That's great. So the way I set it up is I put Yancey Street Goodbye on my left mouse. I got the Rock Slide Charge on the right mouse. And then I got Hammer Time. I got Ground Smash. Those two set up right there. And then when it comes to boss time, I do Brickyard Headbutt, the old 1, 2, 3. And then I go into Clobbering Time with the signature. And then as soon as the old 1, 2, 3's up, I do the headbutt, the old 1, 2, 3, and I just pound away with the Yancey Street Goodbye. I use Hammer Time whenever it's up. And that's it. So gearing, I'm fully geared. I got the Fear Itself costume. I have some old affixes. I have the % base health, so I didn't get rid of those. And I got a 3-to-1 core, 25% health, 3,000 health, 100 spirit and medkit use. I got 364 health when you hit with an enemy. So that's pretty good. And then I got the Semper Fi. I mean, this has got 1,000 damage rating, 340 physical damage rating, 312 crit hit rating, 6% attack speed, 1 fighting, 1600 critical damage rating. And then +4 ranks to guess what time it is, +3 ranks to all things muscle powers, +2 ranks to things brawler powers, +5 ranks to thick skin, so that's awesome for us. I got Ben Grimm's helmet, 3200 defense, 1300 health, 377 damage rating to melee powers, everything's melee. 2% damage to boss rating, that's a little low. +2 durability, +5 ranks to Clobberin Time, +6 ranks to all things muscle powers, +1 to Brickyard Headbutt, +5 ranks to the 0123. UCWF Champion Belt, 1700 defense, 5% chance for powers to rupture the earth, 2 speed, 324 crit hit rating, 1000 critical damage rating, a whole bunch of stuff, just a whole bunch of procs, +1 rank to unlimited class slam, we don't use that, +6 ranks to all things brawler powers, Future Foundation pants, even though he doesn't wear pants, 1901 defense rating, 12% power duration, +2 fighting, special item find, rare item find, much more procs, a ton of procs. It's so awesome. When you stretch, you gain 378 physical defense rating, 377 damage rating with area powers, and 2.3% chance to avoid damage for 10 seconds. So that's always up. +1 to all powers, +4 to all things teammate powers, +7 ranks to fantastic friend powers. That just seems a lot. And then the Immortal Spirit of Kirby, which is 1800 defense and 11,000, almost 12,000 health. So already I'm up to 31,000 health. This thing's creeping up there. I got a Relic of Chandelier. It's giving me 326 health. It's kind of low. It's only 120 of them. I got Ancient Grove on. This one I'm doing for health and durability. It's got defense on it too. It's kind of tanky. I could definitely do some higher ones, but it's pretty easy to get, so that's why I use it. He's a tank again, so I'm using Shield of Perseus, something I haven't used ever. But that's going to have defense, health, and some other good stuff for a tank. I got Insignia of Crystalline, Fantastic Four. So when you hit with a power, you're going to get physical damage rating, movement speed, and defense rating. All good stuff. This one's got 1900 health on it and a 10% chance to slow the target for 5 seconds. I got my Herbie on him. +3 strength, +2 ranks to melee powers, 2% damage rating or base damage to melee powers. So this one's pretty great for thing. Cosmic Ring. It's just got damage rating to melee powers, movement speed, health, dodge rating, and +1 to all powers. I'm using the Advanced Crimson Crystal of Sideric, 552 physical damage rating, 1071 health, 2% chance to become invulnerable. It's got the visual size increase. An Advanced Kung Fu Training Sequence. This is a great tanking item as well. 300 damage rating to melee powers. Everything's melee, so when you hit with a melee, you get 900 defense, 340 dodge rating, 753 health. It's kind of low on the health, but it's got high damage rating. So, Juggernaut Medallion for the durability and the health and the defensiveness of it. It's definitely worth having on. I'm playing them kind of tanky again. Advanced Meta Sensory Array. This one's alright. It's got 269 damage rating, 5% attack speed, +1 to all powers. And because we're going tanky, this is going to give us some good damage rating, a Danger AI chip, and it's also going to give us some defensive background to them too. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 roll. And that's it. So I'm going to go take on the Cosmic Dr. Octopus. It sounds awfully low. It's still low. There we go. Yeah, it's louder. So we see we got a backup to do when we come into big trash packs. And while this is around, we're going to use that. I'm using Clea. And now I'm using team-ups while they're out. Just because they seem a lot better than they were before. The team-up change has come. And then, if there's only a couple things around you, you can always stop the spin of Mr. Fantastic early, so the cooldown ends earlier, so you're not just spinning through nothingness. And then you hit packs and your spin's over, and now you're on cooldown. That would be kind of self-defeating. I'm just saving my spin for Dr. Octopus here. That'll be my first thing I do. He's got the new mechanic. That's a freeze attack that I'm avoiding. And he was pretty easy to destroy. More than enough hit points to sit in the stuff and just do what you want. More than enough. Oh, that's a Fantastic Four insignia. So this thing, that's Clobberin Time. I mean, I sat in the frozen stuff. I just sat there. In the end, I started avoiding it. I mean, I was at half health, and that was like 19,000 hit points still. We're used to characters that have 19,000 hit points at max. So that was really nothing. He's super tanky, super strong, does a lot of damage. I mean, that was a pretty quick kill for someone that's a tank. It's just a phenomenal change from what he was. So that's Clobberin Time. I hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to everybody later.